Have you ever wondered why your legs feel heavier each morning? Why that first step out of bed seems to require more effort than it used to? Why do simple tasks like climbing stairs or walking to the mailbox leave you feeling more winded than they should? You're not alone. And more importantly, it's not just aging. What if I told you that 4 things you do every single morning, habits you consider completely normal, even healthy, are secretly stealing your leg strength? What if the very routines you've built over decades are the hidden reason your mobility is declining faster than it should? I'm talking about activities so common, so deeply ingrained in your daily life that you'd never suspect them. In fact, when I reveal habit number 3, something 90% of seniors do within the first 10 minutes of waking up, you might not believe me, but the science is undeniable. And here's what's truly concerning. These habits don't just weaken your legs gradually. They create a cascade effect that impacts your balance, your confidence, and ultimately, your independence. The damage is so subtle, so progressive, that most people don't notice until they're already struggling. But there's hope, because once you understand what's really happening and why these seemingly innocent morning routines are working against you, you can make simple changes that will have you feeling stronger, more stable, and more confident in just days. So if you value your independence and want to keep your legs strong and reliable for years to come, stay with me through this entire video. Your future mobility might depend on what you learn in the next few minutes. Before we dive in, I need to know you're with me. If you're watching this because you're concerned about maintaining your strength and independence, type 1 in the comments. If you're just curious, type 0. Your engagement helps me know I'm reaching the right people with information that could change their lives. Now, let's uncover the truth about what's really weakening your legs every single morning. Here's what most people don't understand about leg strength after 60. It's not just about the big muscles you can see and feel. Your legs are an incredibly complex system of muscles, tendons, circulation pathways, and nerve connections that all work together to keep you upright, balanced, and mobile. After age 60, this system becomes more sensitive to disruption. Small changes in blood flow, minor shifts in muscle activation patterns, or subtle alterations in nerve signaling can have outsized effects on your overall leg function. This is why some seniors can exercise regularly, yet still experience unexpected weakness or instability. The medical community has a term for this: functional decline. But what they often don't tell you is that much of this decline isn't inevitable. It's not written in your genetic code. Instead, it's often the result of accumulated daily habits that over time create the perfect storm for leg weakness. Think about it this way. If you repeatedly do something that slightly reduces blood flow to your leg muscles, or consistently puts your body in positions that deactivate key stabilizing muscles, the effects compound over months and years. What starts as a barely noticeable change becomes a significant problem. The 4 habits I'm about to reveal are so common that nearly every senior does at least 3 of them. They seem harmless, even beneficial, but when you understand the physiology of aging muscles and circulation, you'll see how these daily routines are working against everything your body is trying to do to maintain strength and stability. Most importantly, these aren't genetic issues or inevitable consequences of aging. They're modifiable behaviors, which means you have more control over your leg strength than you might think. The first habit that's secretly weakening your legs happens in most kitchens across America every single morning. And ironically, it's something people do because they think it's giving them energy. I'm talking about reaching for that first cup of coffee before drinking any water. Now, before you dismiss this as trivial, let me explain what's really happening in your body. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, you wake up in a state of mild dehydration. This is completely normal. You've been breathing and your kidneys have been processing fluids all night without any intake. Your blood volume is slightly reduced and your muscles have less fluid available for optimal function. Here's where it gets problematic for your legs specifically. When you're dehydrated, your body prioritizes blood flow to vital organs, your heart, brain, and kidneys. Where does it reduce blood flow? To your extremities, including your leg muscles. This isn't dramatic enough to be dangerous, but it's significant enough to impact muscle function. Now add caffeine to this equation. Caffeine is a diuretic, which means it actually increases fluid loss through urination. So instead of rehydrating your system, that morning coffee is actually deepening your dehydration for the first hour or two after you drink it. But here's the part that directly impacts your legs. Dehydrated muscles don't contract as efficiently. They're more prone to cramping, fatigue more quickly, and have reduced power output. This is why many seniors notice their legs feel heavy or stiff in the morning, and why that first walk to the bathroom can feel unexpectedly challenging. The circulation issue compounds the problem. Your leg muscles are the farthest from your heart, which means they're already fighting gravity to get adequate blood flow. When you're dehydrated and consuming a diuretic first thing in the morning, you're making that challenge even greater. Over time, this daily pattern of morning dehydration creates a cycle where your leg muscles never quite get the optimal conditions they need to maintain strength. It's like trying to run a car engine with slightly low oil every single day. It might work, but it's definitely not operating at full capacity. The solution isn't to give up coffee. It's simply to drink 8 to 16 ounces of water before that first cup. This simple change can dramatically improve morning leg function and energy levels. But most people skip this step because they don't realize how significantly it's impacting their mobility. The second habit that's weakening your legs might surprise you because it seems so harmless. In fact, many people consider it a sign of being connected and informed. But this daily morning routine is creating a cascade of problems that directly impacts your ability to walk, climb stairs, and maintain balance. I'm talking about checking your phone or tablet while still in bed. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could looking at a screen possibly affect leg strength? The answer lies in the position this puts your body in and how that position affects some of the most important muscles for leg function. When you prop yourself up in bed to check your phone, read emails, or scroll through news, you're typically in one of two positions, either sitting up with your knees bent and hips flexed, or lying on your side with your legs curled up. In both cases, your hip flexor muscles, the muscles that connect your spine to your thigh bones, are in a shortened, contracted position. Here's why this matters for your leg strength. Your hip flexors are supposed to work in balance with your glutes, your buttock muscles, and your hamstrings, the muscles on the back of your thighs. When hip flexors are chronically tight or overactive, they inhibit the proper function of these other crucial muscles. Think of it like a tug-of-war inside your body. Tight hip flexors are constantly pulling forward on your pelvis and spine. To compensate, your body has to work harder to maintain proper posture and balance. Over time, this leads to weaker glutes and hamstrings, two of the most important muscle groups for leg strength, stability, and power. The timing makes this even more problematic. Morning is when your muscles are already stiff from hours of inactivity. By immediately putting your hip flexors in a shortened position and keeping them there for 15, 30, or even 60 minutes while you browse your phone, you're essentially teaching your body that this is the normal position. When you finally do get up and start moving, your hip flexors remain tight, your glutes remain underactive, and your walking pattern becomes subtly altered. You might notice that you shuffle slightly or that your steps aren't as powerful as they used to be. You might feel like you need to warm up for longer before your legs feel normal. But here's the insidious part. This happens so gradually that most people adapt to it without realizing it. They just accept that mornings are stiff, that it takes longer to get moving, or that their legs don't feel as strong as they used to. They don't connect it to those peaceful moments in bed with their phone. The research on prolonged hip flexion is clear. It creates measurable changes in muscle activation patterns that can persist throughout the day. For seniors whose muscle function is already more fragile, this daily habit can be the difference between maintaining strong, stable legs and experiencing gradual decline. Now we come to habit number 3, the one that 90% of seniors do every single morning, usually within 10 minutes of waking up. This habit feels wonderful in the moment, seems perfectly healthy, and is often recommended for relaxation and well-being. Yet it's one of the most damaging things you can do to your leg circulation and muscle function. I'm talking about taking a hot shower immediately after waking up. I can practically hear your objections already. How could a hot shower be bad for me? It feels great. It wakes me up. It helps with my arthritis. And you're not wrong about how it feels. But let me explain what's happening inside your body that you can't feel. When you expose your body to hot water, We're talking about the temperature most people prefer, around 104 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Your blood vessels dilate dramatically to help regulate your body temperature. This dilation happens throughout your entire body, but it's most pronounced in your skin and the blood vessels closest to the surface. Here's the problem. This sudden dramatic dilation of blood vessels causes what's called peripheral pooling. Blood flow shifts away from your deep muscles, including your leg muscles, and toward your skin. Your body is essentially prioritizing temperature regulation over muscle function. For a younger person with robust circulation, this isn't a significant problem. Their cardiovascular system can quickly readjust after the shower. But for seniors, especially those with any degree of circulatory compromise, which includes most people over 60, even if they don't know it, this hot shower creates a temporary but significant reduction in blood flow to the leg muscles. Remember, you're already starting the morning with slightly reduced blood volume from overnight dehydration. If you've had coffee, you're further compromising your hydration status. And now you're asking your circulatory system to handle a major vascular challenge while your leg muscles are crying out for oxygen and nutrients. But it gets worse. The heat also causes your muscles to relax, which sounds good, but isn't optimal for the muscles that need to activate to support you throughout the day. Your leg muscles should be gradually waking up in the morning, preparing for the demands of walking, balancing, and supporting your body weight. Instead, the hot shower puts them into a state of deep relaxation right when they should be becoming more active. The temperature shock when you step out of the hot shower compounds the problem. Your blood vessels constrict rapidly as your body tries to conserve heat, but this constriction can be uneven and chaotic. The result is a period of poor circulation that can last 30, 60 minutes after your shower. During this time, your legs are operating with suboptimal blood flow, reduced oxygen delivery, and muscles that are struggling to activate properly. This is why many seniors notice they feel slightly unsteady or weak immediately after a hot shower, or why their legs might feel rubbery for the first hour of the day. The long-term effect is even more concerning. This daily cycle of circulation disruption, muscle relaxation, and vascular stress creates a pattern where your leg muscles never quite get the optimal conditions they need to maintain and build strength. It's like repeatedly interrupting a car engine's warm-up cycle. Eventually, the engine doesn't run as smoothly as it should. Clinical studies have shown that seniors who take very hot showers regularly have measurably reduced muscle activation in their legs compared to those who take warm, not hot, showers. The difference isn't dramatic enough to notice day to day, but over months and years, it contributes to the gradual decline in leg strength and stability that many people attribute to normal aging. The solution isn't to take cold showers. That creates its own set of problems. Instead, the optimal temperature for morning showers is warm but not hot, around 98 to 102 degrees Fahrenheit. This is warm enough to be comfortable and help you wake up, but not so hot that it disrupts your circulation or over-relaxes your muscles. The fourth and final habit that's secretly weakening your legs is something that most people consider a sign of taking good care of themselves. In fact, many seniors spend significant money on this habit because they believe it's protecting their health and preventing injuries. But this well-intentioned daily routine is actually undermining one of the most critical aspects of leg strength and stability. I'm talking about immediately putting on supportive shoes or slippers when you get out of bed. Now, I'm not suggesting you walk around barefoot all day or ignore legitimate foot problems, but the practice of never allowing your feet to function naturally, even for short periods in safe environments, is creating a cascade of weakness that travels up through your entire leg. Your feet contain 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. This complex structure isn't just for supporting your body weight. It's also a sophisticated sensory system that provides your brain with crucial information about your position in space, the texture and angle of surfaces you're walking on, and how to adjust your balance and muscle activation accordingly. When you immediately put your feet into supportive shoes or cushioned slippers, you're essentially putting this entire system to sleep. The thick soles, arch supports, and cushioning that feel so comfortable are actually preventing your feet from doing the job they evolved to do over millions of years. Here's how this impacts your leg strength. When your feet can't sense the ground properly, your brain has to work much harder to figure out how to activate your leg muscles for balance and movement. It's like trying to play piano while wearing thick gloves. You can still press the keys, but you lose the subtle feedback that allows for precise, efficient movement. This lack of sensory feedback forces your body to overactivate certain muscles while underactivating others. Typically, the larger, more superficial muscles work harder to compensate for the lack of precise information, while the smaller, deeper stabilizing muscles, the ones that are crucial for balance and injury prevention, become lazy and weak. The morning timing makes this particularly problematic. Your nervous system and muscles are already sluggish from hours of inactivity. Instead of gradually waking up your foot muscles and sensory systems with gentle, natural movement, you immediately put them into artificial supports that prevent normal function. Over time, this creates what researchers call sensory motor amnesia. Your feet and lower legs literally forget how to function optimally. Your balance reflexes become slower and less precise. Your leg muscles lose the ability to make quick, subtle adjustments that prevent falls and injuries. Your walking pattern becomes less efficient and more energy-consuming. Perhaps most importantly, the small muscles in your feet and lower legs that act as your body's natural shock absorbers and stabilizers become weak and unresponsive. When these muscles don't do their job properly, the larger muscles in your thighs and hips have to work harder to compensate, leading to fatigue, stiffness, and gradual strength loss. The research on this is compelling. Seniors who spend some time each day barefoot or in minimal footwear show significantly better balance, stronger foot and lower leg muscles, and reduced fall risk compared to those who are always in supportive shoes. The solution is simple, but requires a gradual approach. Start by spending 10-15 minutes each morning barefoot in your home, doing simple activities like making breakfast or light stretching. As your feet and legs adapt, you can gradually increase this time. The key is to progress slowly and listen to your body. Now that you understand each of these 4 habits individually, let me explain why they're so devastating when combined, which is how most seniors experience them every single day. Picture this typical morning routine. You wake up slightly dehydrated from the night. Instead of drinking water, you immediately have coffee, deepening the dehydration and reducing blood flow to your legs. While the coffee brews, you check your phone in bed for 20 to 30 minutes, keeping your hip flexors tight and your glutes inactive. Then you take a hot shower, further compromising circulation to your leg muscles and over-relaxing the muscles that should be activating for the day. Finally, you put on supportive shoes or slippers, shutting down the sensory feedback and natural muscle activation that your legs need to function optimally. Each habit creates a problem. Together, they create a perfect storm of conditions that systematically undermine your leg strength, balance, and mobility. The dehydration reduces the efficiency of muscle contractions. The prolonged hip flexion creates muscle imbalances that alter your walking pattern. The hot shower disrupts circulation right when your muscles need optimal blood flow. And the immediate foot support prevents the natural activation sequence that should strengthen and stabilize your legs throughout the day. This isn't speculation, it's measurable. Studies using sophisticated balance and strength testing equipment have shown that seniors who follow this typical morning routine score significantly lower on tests of leg strength, balance, and mobility compared to those who modify even 1 or 2 of these habits. The tragic part is that most people doing this routine think they're taking good care of themselves. They're staying informed by checking their phone, maintaining hygiene with their shower, protecting their feet with supportive footwear, and enjoying their morning coffee. These all seem like responsible, health-conscious choices. But the compound effect over months and years is undeniable. Gradually weakening legs, declining balance, reduced confidence in movement, and an increased risk of falls and injuries. What makes this particularly insidious is that the decline is so gradual that people adapt to it without realizing what's happening. The good news is that once you understand what's happening, the solutions are surprisingly simple. You don't have to completely eliminate any of these habits. You just need to modify them in ways that support, rather than undermine, your leg strength. For the dehydration issue, start each day with 8 to 16 ounces of water before that first cup of coffee. Keep a glass of water by your bed so it's easy to drink as soon as you wake up. This simple change can improve your morning energy levels and leg function almost immediately. For the hip flexor problem, instead of checking your phone in bed, sit on the edge of your bed or in a chair with your feet flat on the floor. Even better, do some gentle hip flexor stretches while you catch up on news or messages. Simple movements like standing and doing a few gentle leg swings can counteract hours of hip flexion. For the circulation disruption, lower your shower temperature to warm rather than hot, around 98-102 degrees Fahrenheit. It should feel comfortably warm, but not so hot that your skin turns red. This maintains the pleasant awakening sensation while preserving healthy circulation to your leg muscles. For the foot support issue, spend the first 10 to 15 minutes of your day barefoot in your home. Do simple activities like making breakfast, light stretching, or gentle walking around your house. This allows your feet and lower legs to wake up naturally and begin functioning as they should. The key is to implement these changes gradually. Don't try to change everything at once. That's a recipe for abandoning the whole plan. Pick one habit to modify first, stick with it for a week or two until it feels natural, then add another change. Most people notice improvements in morning energy and leg stability within just a few days of making these modifications. Within a few weeks, the changes in strength and balance can be quite dramatic. What I've shared with you today goes far beyond just leg strength. These 4 morning habits are actually windows into a much larger issue: how the accumulated effects of modern lifestyle choices can accelerate age-related decline in ways that seem inevitable but are actually preventable. The medical community often treats symptoms, prescribing medications for balance problems, recommending physical therapy for weakness, or suggesting assistive devices for mobility issues. While these interventions have their place, they rarely address the daily habits that may be contributing to the problems in the first place. When you understand how your morning routine impacts your circulation, muscle activation, sensory feedback, and hydration status, you begin to see how many age-related health issues might be more lifestyle-related than age-related. This is empowering because it means you have more control over your health trajectory than you might have thought. The changes I've outlined aren't just about preventing problems. They're about optimizing function. Many of my viewers report that modifying these morning habits doesn't just stop decline, it actually improves their strength, energy, and confidence beyond what they've experienced in years. This speaks to a crucial point. Your body has a remarkable capacity for improvement at any age, but it needs the right conditions to express that capacity. By removing the daily obstacles you've unknowingly been placing in your body's way, you allow your natural healing and strengthening processes to work more effectively. If this information has opened your eyes to habits you didn't realize were impacting your health, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me which of these 4 habits you recognize in your own morning routine, and more importantly, which one are you committed to changing first? Type water if you're going to start drinking water before coffee. Type stretch if you're going to modify how you check your phone in the morning. Type warm if you're going to lower your shower temperature. Type barefoot if you're going to spend time without shoes each morning. Your comments help other viewers realize they're not alone in these habits, and they help me understand what resonates most with people who are serious about maintaining their independence and mobility. If this video has been helpful, please hit the like button. It tells YouTube to share this information with other seniors who might benefit from understanding these connections. And if you want to stay informed about health truths that can make a real difference in your daily life, subscribe to this channel and ring the notification bell. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Even small changes in your morning routine can compound into significant improvements in how your legs feel and function throughout the day. Your independence is precious, and your legs are the foundation of that independence. By making these simple modifications to habits you probably didn't even realize were problematic, you're taking control of your health trajectory in a way that most people never do. Stay strong, stay informed, and remember, it's never too late to make changes that can improve how you feel and function. Your future self will thank you for the steps you take today.